Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So as the July Beat Inflation Pantry Challenge comes to a close, I just want to show you some of the things we did to beat inflation over the month of July. And not even the month of July. This is the way I cook all the time from my pantry. I rarely buy something and come home and immediately cook it. Most of the time, if I find a great deal, I'm canning it or preserving it some other way. So these are some of the things we did over the last month between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's some snacks thrown in here. We love popcorn in this house, so you see we done some popcorn. And I will also show you what I do for cleaning product right from the pantry. No harsh chemicals, nothing like that. So I just want to show you how I mix my baking soda into my cleaning water for cleaning. Yeah, I actually have water in here, baking soda, and a little bit of vinegar. I use vinegar most times, and I mean, you can tell that it's anything else but just like water. I mean, to smell it, yeah, definitely, but you can see kind of fizzes. And this is what I'll do. I'll dissolve the baking soda in the water vinegar solution, and then I'll add this to my mop bucket. I mop my kitchen, bathroom, living room, dining room, and bedrooms, and I will clean the water between every single room. So for my bathroom, I'll mop the bathroom, and then I'll change my water and add a little bit to this. This was 4 cups, and I'll add about a half a cup or so into each clean mop bucket as I go through cleaning each room. So I'll change it in between rooms. So today I thought I would bring you along. I'm actually cleaning out my fridge, and it's like, why don't I show them how I clean up my fridge? I do this about once or twice every month. Sometimes I do it every week, but yeah. Sometimes things get pushed to the back of my fridge, and this is what happened. We had 3 things of jam open. This was blackberry. Actually, this was apple butter, and this one was another jam. And I had some applesauce back there that we had started and not finished. And I decided you can make a crisp out of this. What I'm going to decide to do today is actually make, I think I'm going to make some cereal bars, what I do for lunches. Might make it into a crisp. I'm not sure. I'm going to see what I get. Once I get all the jams out and get it into my pot, I've already started. So once I get all this out into the pot, I'll see what I have and decide whether it's enough for my cereal bars. If not, I'll just make it into a small crisp. Okay, so I've emptied all 3 jars of jam into the pot. And why do I have 3 open jars of jam, or 2 jars of jam and 1 apple butter in my fridge? Some get pushed through the back. Somebody doesn't realize one's open. They open another one. That's how it happens. So I've actually got the jams in here, blackberry and apple jam, and some of the applesauce. I didn't use all of it. It's about half a jar maybe left. And the juice of these pears. This is going to be my fruit portion of this crisp I decided to make. And I'm going to thicken this up, add my fruit, and we're going to make a small crisp out of this. It's not enough for my cereal bars, so I'm not going to go that route, and they're longer to make anyway. I'll show you how I make those another day. But this is the way to clean out your fridge and make something sweet out of it. So I'm going to reduce this down and make a quick crisp. Okay, so here's my liquid. It's still very loose. I'm not left-handed. Well, I'm ambidextrous, so I'm going to switch camera angles and come with my right hand that I can stir batter. As you can see, it's very fluent. I want it a bit thicker than that. I chopped up my pears, and I'm just going to make a small crisp, just that 8x8 size that I made previously, if you saw the video. So what I'm going to do is, to thicken this up, I'm going to take some cornstarch and probably, I don't know, maybe about a tablespoon. And I'm going to mix that in and see how thick that gets it. And if it's thick enough, I'm going to return it to the heat. And if it's thick enough, I'll just leave it. If not, I'll add maybe another tablespoon or so. So that's how I'm going to thicken this up. Even with the jam, the apple butter, and the applesauce in here with the heavy syrup off the pears, it's still not thick enough. So I'm going to return this to the heat and see if it thickens up to what I want for my crisp. Okay, so I thickened this up pretty good. I did add another tablespoon of the cornstarch to it, and I'm just going to add in my pears in here. See if I can do this with one hand. I'll probably end up spilling it, but we're going to just add it in here. And usually I would put it back on the heat for a few minutes to get, yep, I'm spilling it, get the fruit soft, whatever fruit I'm using. But because this is canned pears, they're already soft, so I'm just going to put them in here and mix it in. Okay, so this is the base for my crisp. It almost looks like apples. And it does have apple butter in it and some apple jam, so it's kind of appley. So I'm just going to pour this into my 8x8 Pyrex dish, and we're going to make a crisp top and get it in the oven. So I don't know what happened to the footage of me putting this crisp together. I apparently deleted it, lost it, my phone ate it, whatever the case may be, I cannot find it. So I've actually pulled one from another crisp that I made. I pulled a clip from that video just to show you how I put it together and how easy it is. Use my oats. Like I said, I'm not doing quite the full recipe, but because I'm not using the same size pan that I would normally do. So in goes my oats. Now for my flour, I am using the side. In goes my all-purpose flour, and that's what I'm using, all-purpose flour. In goes my flour. Just measuring this a little bit more. Okay. Yep, that's where I want to be for the flour. In goes my flour. Now my sugar. Now I'm going to use two different sugars. It calls for white sugar as well as brown sugar. So in goes my white sugar, which is kind of lumpy. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use cinnamon sugar. I'm sifting in my vanilla sugar. As you can see, it still has the vanilla beans in it. That's why I'm sifting it out. And it's quite lumpy. But that is my cinnamon sugar. See if I put in enough, and I did. Now I'm going to put in my brown sugar. I'm just measuring in my brown sugar, which is going to be a little difficult because it came out in a clump. What I'm going to do is just spread it over. I just want to measure. It doesn't have to be exact, like I said. This is just a little bit more. This recipe is very forgiving. You can adjust it how you like it to your taste. That's about right. Yep. I've got all my layers in, as you can see. And now the last thing to do is my salt. I'm going to put that right on top. My salt right in. And I'm just going to stir it up. Use that same spatula I used for the fruit portion, and I'm just going to get it mixed up. Okay, so there it is, all mixed up, ready to go. And I'm just going to pour it over. Spread it along. I want to break that. That's a piece of brown sugar I'm just going to break up. It will melt because actually sugar is considered a wet ingredient because it will melt. Just gonna spread it over, and it's that quick and easy. Pop it in the oven with our dinner and it will be ready in the same time. 3 little dishes well, not even 2 dishes and my spatula that I dirtied up to make dessert. And then I'm just going to put it in the oven and let it bake with our casserole. And that's easy as that. Flour it up, and there it is in the oven, ready to bake. That's probably gonna be ready before the casserole is, but that's okay. We'll cool while the casserole is finished, and then when we eat, it'll be ready to serve after we eat. Okay, so here's my dinner casserole out of the oven, and my cherry crisp is cooling. So we'll have it for dinner well, we'll have it for dessert after. So here is my quick and easy dessert out of the oven. It is still bubbling away. And I'm going to let it cool and we'll have it after dinner for dessert. So even when your family wants fast food, burger and fries, there's an easier, simpler, more effective way, and definitely better tasting and better for you than to go through the drive-thru that you can make at home. This is burgers and fries I made at home because that's what we wanted this Friday. So cooking from scratch doesn't have to be a long affair. It can be really quick, really simple meals. For breakfast, you can do eggs, hash browns, and sausages like you see here. Really quick, really easy. Our favorite cookies to make is chocolate chip cookies. So what I would do when I make chocolate chip cookies is I would make a triple batch of them and I would freeze a portion of them. So anytime we would want chocolate chip cookies, I would pull out a few and I would put them in the oven. The other day I actually put them in the sun oven. We have a sun oven and they came out really nice. Now you have to kind of prepare ahead of time for that way to go, but they do turn out good. Another way I'm going to beat inflation is canning. Canning my sales that I find, my good deals that I find, meats, proteins, and any vegetables, anything you can find at a good deal that you want to preserve for the future. And as I've said before, the way I am beating inflation, my family is beating inflation, is using what we have in our garden. We have a garden. It's not really big, but it's a good size. Use what space you have and try to grow something that's going to supplement your grocery bill. So I am a fan of a one-pot meal. It might not look great, but it does taste great. And the only thing in this frying pan that didn't come from our garden is the meat. These are garden potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, onions, everything I preserved previously I'm using out of our pantry in our meals. And if I can cut down on how many dishes I have to wash, then I'm going to do that. That's why I love these one-pot meals. Get them in the pan and let them go. So we are utilizing everything that's coming out of our garden, whether it be lettuce, spinach, basil, no matter what it is. Berries, we are freezing them if they make it to the freezer. Radishes, things like that, we put it in salads. I'm going to try baked radishes next time. This is another meal that's all from the pantry, every single last bit of it. And this year we actually got peaches. So whatever you have coming out of your garden, use it in some way, shape, or form to help you beat inflation.